strangers, it's Liv. Welcome back to my channel. So today is my last video of 2020. So I kind of thought what better way to end out a year is to look back and kind of go over what I've done, what I haven't done. It's been a rough year for everybody, right? So I mean, like, by no means, first of all, 20 things I did in 2020. That was a hard list to make. Good and bad reasons. But I don't want this to like hinder anybody or affect anybody. It's kind of more for a me thing to look back. Hopefully never relive this year, but if I ever needed to, I could look back at this video. Okay. What I'm also gonna do is my makeup. I've seen a lot of videos before of like people talking and doing their makeup, and it's kind of always something that I've liked and enjoyed. So we're gonna kind of see how it goes, but I have a list of like good and bad things, and I have more good than bad, even though I feel like if I weighted them literally, the bad side would maybe outdo the good side. So that's kind of something just to like note in and of itself. But again, this kind of took me longer than I would have liked to admit. I had to look back at like my Instagram posts and stories and Snapchat and my calendar just to kind of like figure out what I actually did this year, because nothing really was monumental that, you know. The first thing, really, I have to get over talking and looking to the side because I'm like, you know? So there is that. But the first thing that I really did in 2020 was have a skincare routine and generally stick to it. So before, I never really used like face creams or eye creams or serums or anything like that. And I did a video last year where I got some, you know, face creams and stuff that I had to test, but that really kind of gave me an opportunity to create a routine. And I did this pre-COVID. So getting into it, I'm not going to the office every day. So I could literally wake up at the same time and kind of have a more genuine routine in the morning and like try to take care of myself. So I do have a morning routine. I do have a nighttime routine. Do I stick to them every day? Absolutely not. But what it is nice is that I don't necessarily have to, but it's just kind of better than what I was doing. I definitely noticed like a difference in my skin and how makeup just looks a little better, how I feel like I look a little better in terms of my skin. And that was kind of like a really positive thing that came out of it. I think going into quarantine, I was like, I'm going to take care of myself, but at least I took care of my skin because it is the largest organ in the body. So I don't know. That's just kind of my mentality on that. So that's number one. Second thing is in 2020, before COVID, I visited my uncle. He lives in Wisconsin, and I really haven't spent a lot of time with him, so it was really kind of nice. I went up with my boyfriend and we just kind of spent the weekend. We just hung out. He showed us, you know, some like bars, and we made food, and it was just a really like nice, genuine time that I got to spend with him, and I definitely feel like it made us closer in general. And you know, I helped him with some like computer stuff and getting him set up on Spotify and all that, and I think he really appreciated it. And we were going to go up in the summer, but that again just didn't happen because of COVID and quarantine. So you know, I definitely think that once everything is semi back to normal, I'll kind of be able to get closer with him. And that was just kind of a really good thing that came out of 2020, and I'm happy that it happened. And I'm just kind of disappointed that I couldn't see him more just because of everything going on, but that's really everybody. So let's go another good thing and then we'll go to the bad thing. I dyed my hair pink and blue, so it's kind of like a pink right now, and then I did a blue earlier in the year. And I think that really that was something that I never thought I could do or get away with, but my friend Junior really was like, just do it. Like, who cares? And to his point, like, absolutely right. Like, I really don't care. But also, too, I read something that was like, if you're wearing something or if you're doing something, like, you're pulling it off. Like, who's to say you're not pulling something off, you know? There's definitely times where you might not think it, but if you're wearing a certain outfit, you're pulling it off, you're wearing it. So I think that that really kind of liberated me in a sense, because I was always very like, don't dye your hair, don't do anything to screw it up, but like, what, it'll grow back. And I think that that was kind of a liberating thing for me just personally, because I feel like I can be more creative and it is a way to express myself. And I just really liked that that happened. And again, I think it was partially because of quarantine that I was able to do that, because if I was on a conference call, I could put my hair up if my work was like really upset about it, which they weren't. So it wasn't like anything that I had to really be nervous about. And people said that they liked it, that it looked cute, and it just was overall something that, I don't know, I would do again. And I'm happy that it took a lockdown. Well, I'm upset that it took a lockdown for me to realize that, but I am happy that I kind of had that security blanket of like, well, no one's gonna see me, so why don't I just do it? And that was like the best thing. I know it just seems kind of trivial, but it really was like awakening for me, I guess. Kind of like a spiritual spiritual moment. So yeah, that was the third thing. Number 4, this is kind of a big one, so I'm just gonna try to get through it. I stopped working out, straight up. So that's gonna happen. My weight has definitely been something I've been struggling with for a while, for actually like probably my whole life. So that's like a deep-seated issue in and of itself. But I stopped working out. I remember I recorded a video at the beginning of the year. I didn't post it. And I was in my car coming back from the gym and I'm like, this year I'm really I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna eat clean. I'm gonna lose weight and this and that. And then COVID quarantine happened and I just fell off the wagon completely. I ate like shit. I drink all the time. Not all the time. But I'm drinking more than I normally would. I definitely had a span of time where I really cared about my body and cared what I ate, and I didn't really drink heavily, and I also, ate clean. I was working out five to 6 times a week, and that really, again, just fell off. So that is a big thing that I want to do in 2020. And my boyfriend was, kind of the same way. He definitely ate better than I did in quarantine, and we lived together too. So, that's just kind of a me and a self-control issue. But I think that 2021 is going to be our year. I think it's going to be partially difficult because if everything opens up again, we're going to be really eager to go and drink and eat at the places we want to and sit down and stuff, which we will, but I think it's going to be that moderation that gets us through. But it's just something that I want to look at myself and be confident and feel confident and look good and look healthy and not be overweight and all of the different things that whatever. But that was definitely something that was not good out of 2020. And, wearing sweatpants every day to work is nice and I love it, but my jeans don't fit. So it's let's pick one, let's pick a lane, right? So that was kind of a very discouraging thing. But I think that this year probably taught me what not to do, even though I've known what not to do. But I think also too, I never want to get back to where I am right now, because this is kind of the worst that I've ever been. And I'm not going to go into it that much farther, but that's kind of my my 2 cents for that. So this one is on there. It's number 4 and it is embroidery. So my cousin Katie, she embroiders and she always posts her stuff, and I was always very envious of it. I'm I feel like I could do that. And I did a couple of embroidery projects for my friends and stuff for Christmas and their birthdays, and they loved it. It's definitely not something that I've kept up with, but for a time that's really all I was focusing on doing. So I think that I just need to get back into it. So that's definitely something that I'm gonna try to continue to do because I have all the stuff for it. So why wouldn't I want to keep doing it? But I think that, yeah, I just need to get back into doing it. Next thing is nail maintenance. So I really got into Simply Nailogical 2 to 3 years ago, and I really love her personality. I love how smart she is, her wittiness. I love her and Ben, and I really got into kind of her standum, fandom, whatever we want to call it. And she came out with a nail polish line that's about a year and a half old, and I jumped on that train. So I bought all of her nail polish, and I've been taking care of my nails. This is not a good example. These are Christmas nails that are chipping and stuff, but definitely taking care of my nails and nail maintenance is something that really kept me sane during quarantine, because it's just a time for me, and it's just very, very therapeutic for me to do that. It's my ultimate guilty pleasure self-care. I can watch YouTube, I can listen to music, I can listen to podcasts, and it's just kind of a me time moment. And then I stare at my nails all week, and it's something that I'm very proud of, and I post about it on my Instagram stories and stuff. And by no means am I perfect or an expert or anything, but it's just something that I've really enjoyed doing, and I'm very happy and thankful for Christine / Simply Nailogical for having an awesome channel with good content, and her podcast is amazing. But also too, having a nail polish line, showing people how to take care of their nails, nail maintenance, things not to do with your nails, taking care of yourself. And that's something that I definitely think I took care of different aspects of myself in terms of my hair, my makeup, my skin, my nails, but I kind of let everything else fall by the wayside. So again, 2021, I feel is going to be my year, but we're not there yet, and that's okay. Well, my other sad thing was I stopped dieting and then also drank a lot. So those are kind of things that I didn't think I was going to go into quite as early as I did. So those are other items on the list. And again, things I'm not proud of, things I wish were different, and things I wish I could change, but I can't change them. So the only thing I can do is be better moving forward. And I think that I need to just set myself up for success and work that exercise muscle of of saying no to things, because it's easy to say yes to something, but it's harder to say no. And the more you say no, the easier it's going to get to say no when other opportunities or things or food or drinks come up. So I definitely want to exercise my body, but also exercise the muscle of my brain saying no to something that I want to say yes to, because I know it's not good for me. So those were a couple more bad things, but let's go into more good things. This year I voted, and I voted in the presidential election, and we did it, Joe. But no, I voted, and I was really proud of voting, and I voted in, I believe just the last presidential election was the only one I was like old enough to vote in, I believe. I voted in every presidential election that I was able to vote in, so that was good. But, you know, I really advocated for voting. I would post on my stories. I would text some of my friends being like, hey, have you voted yet? Make sure that you vote. This was my boyfriend's first time voting in a presidential election, so that was really awesome. And we went together, and it was just kind of a good time. And I know that election time is always really scary, and especially this year it was very scary, and I'm happy with the outcome that it was. But I definitely felt more empowered this year than years past in my respect of voting, just because it was so important, and it ended up paying off. So I'm very happy with that this year. And every year it is important to vote in terms of your local elections. So that's something that I want to do for 2021, is just like focus more on my local elections as well, and make sure to vote in all of those, because I don't think that was necessarily something that I was doing prior. So yeah. The next thing, this was probably like one of the biggest things of 2020 in terms of like my personal life, is that I got a new job. So this was really big for me. P.S. This was like the best palette that I've ever gotten in my entire life. It was an e.l.f. palette. It was from like holiday last year, and I'm absolutely obsessed with. Anyway, I was at my previous job for a little over 6.5 years, and just saying that like makes me ill, because it just kind of makes me realize how old I am. But that was my first job out of college, and I definitely grew there as a professional and personally. Like, a lot of stuff happened to me while I was there, and I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. And I really loved the job that I had while I was there. Just kind of some stuff happened to me at the job that I wasn't like thrilled about, with some just kind of reorganization. That's kind of all I'm going to say. But it was just kind of my time to spread my wings and fly, essentially, and find a new place. So I'm at a new job, and I'm doing something kind of similar to what I used to be doing in a similar field, which is really nice. I feel like I couldn't have asked for a better job post this job, because it really is building on what I've learned and what I know. It's a little more intense than I thought it was going to be, but in the best possible way. So I think that this is only going to make me a stronger professional, and I'm very excited for where it's going to take me. I just never thought I was going to find a new job, and I was really scared to switch professions during a pandemic, because if there were any cuts, I'm going to be the lowest on the totem pole. So I'm very thankful that nothing bad has happened. And yeah, that was really kind of the big thing of 2020 for me. I put under the good thing bike riding. So I used to really ride my bike a lot when I was little, and when I would babysit, we would go on bike rides and stuff, and that was something that really fell off. And my boyfriend, he has one of his really good friends. He has a couple friends that actually ride their bikes a lot. And we started to kind of get back into that. That was trying a resurgence of working out mid-pandemic, that I thought that was gonna, be it. I definitely have to work my way back up, because again, it got cold. We fell off of riding our bikes and stuff. So, hopefully when spring rolls around, I want to set a goal for myself of biking a certain amount of miles next year. And I hope that I can achieve it. But I think having something to work towards is going to be really helpful. But it was nice to get my bike out of my parents' garage and actually start riding it, getting better accessories for it, having handlebars that I can, ride with and stuff. So that was definitely a positive that came out of 2020 for me. And I'm very excited to see where 2021 kind of takes me with bike riding. I think that, in the colder months, I'm going to try to eat healthier and try to really drop some pounds so that bike riding is a little bit easier. I really want that to be like a focus for me next year. The next one is I played Animal Crossing, which I've been waiting for Animal Crossing to come out for the Nintendo Switch since I bought a Switch. That was the whole reason I literally bought one, and it did not come out for the longest time. And then it finally came out, and then we were in quarantine, and I've put 400 hours into my island, which I feel like is a little crazy. I definitely definitely had, again, I just played it too much, that there was like 2 or 3 months of the year that I literally just could not bring myself to play it. And now I've kind of gotten back into like, I play 20 minutes a day, kind of like how the game's designed for you to play. You shouldn't be playing it for 10 hours straight. Like, you're gonna burn yourself out. So that was really fun. That was something that my boyfriend and I and our friends like really looked forward to, was after work, we'd all get on and visit each other's islands and stuff. So number 10, sustainable shopping. So if you guys watched my last video, all of my things were literally like from Amazon. But really this year I focused on not buying into fast fashion. I'm a huge thrifter. I've been thrifting for honestly as long as I could remember. But this year I think most of my clothes are thrifted of the ones that I bought this year. I actually did a video earlier this year with like the wildest music. So if you do watch it, just try to look past the music that I added to it because it was very intense. But of counting all of my clothes versus it being gifted, thrifted, or something that I bought at like a general store. So I think that like 90% of the clothes that I bought myself this year were thrifted, and that's something that I want to try to continue into kind of the rest of my life, you know, unless there's something that like I can't live without. I definitely think that having a sustainable shopping is the best way to help with the environment in terms of like consumerism and stuff. But also I want to say too that shopping locally in terms of going to Etsy and buying a gift, or going to, you know, yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, online marketplaces, those are a really good way to, you know, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I hope you know what I'm trying to say because I'm kind of losing it, but I also don't want this video to be 80 hours long. So here's a sad one. Something that I really haven't done. Something that I really haven't done in 2020 is like hug my parents. And I feel like I just got shot in the chest, but it's fine. It's not fine. COVID's been really hard. My parents have been getting older. They retired. So it's the best breath of fresh air was that my parents didn't have to go to work and that they were okay being retired and happy, you know. But it has been very hard to see them and not give them a hug and a kiss, and it's just been, you know, it's been difficult. And that's really kind of with all of my family and friends in terms of like, I've been able to see them socially distanced, wearing masks, being very careful, but I really kind of missed that, you know, that physical interaction with my friends and my parents and stuff. And it's definitely something that you really take for granted until you can't do something. So, you know, I like the meme that says I'm gonna French kiss my friends for 20 minutes each after COVID's over, because I definitely feel, at least the sentiment, I'm definitely not gonna French kiss my friends, but you know, that's really just how I feel. I just miss being close with them and hanging out freely and just being able to, you know, do that. That's definitely a low of 2020, but I'm hoping, you know, once the vaccine is widely rolled out and, you know, things are kind of safe again, I'm gonna give my parents a big old hug and kiss and just really, really appreciate it a lot more. Don't tell my parents I like them, okay? I don't want them to get any ideas. One of the positives is kind of reorganized and made a home office for me and my boyfriend. So we live in a 1-bedroom apartment and we both are working from home. So, you know, we kind of looked into stuff on how to best separate working from home and living, because it hits 5 o'clock and you're like, nothing's changed, right? So, you know, none of us work in the bedroom. We kind of just work in where we live and watch TV and stuff. So we kind of separated it. So I have a little area, he has a little area, but it definitely was a little bit of trial and error. I also stayed connected with friends. So one of my best friends moved to Colorado, and that was definitely hard too, because I didn't really get to like say goodbye, help move, because I had to work and it was COVID and all this stuff. But I feel like she's also visited enough too that I've been able to like see her and, you know, socially distant, but, you know, definitely staying connected and video chatting. And I also have gotten more close with friends that I necessarily haven't stayed as well of touch with. So that's been really nice too. So that's been really a good positive. Okay, last sad thing, even though some of the sad things were too sad, is something that sucked was concerts, and that I didn't get to go to any. I had so many concerts lined up for this year that obviously all got canceled. Some got fully canceled, some got postponed with no date in sight, like concerts and shows and stuff, and then some got rescheduled. So one of the most notably sad ones was me and one of my best friends, we were gonna go see the Schitt's Creek cast at the Chicago Theater, and that's been postponed. So I don't know, it hasn't been rescheduled, it hasn't been canceled, it just is postponed, but like no date in sight. So that was really kind of sad. It was for the farewell tour of the show being over. It was gonna be definitely a really good year for concerts, and then it kind of just all went to SHI. 2 more positive ones, and then we can kind of close this out. I put socially distant hangs onto my positives. I think that really kept me positive throughout the year because, you know, it's hard not seeing your friends and seeing people that you would normally kind of hang out with every day. So that was really a lifesaver, was being able to sit out. And the weather was really nice this year, so like, of course, go figure. But it was just really nice to be able to sit outside, you know, masks on or 8 feet apart, 6 feet apart. It was, I don't want to say nice, because it wasn't nice that the virus, like, don't whatever, but it was nice that there were still restrictions that let us see our friends during this difficult time. This like kind of went somewhere and then it really didn't. If you've gotten through, you are probably one of my best friends. So the final thing that was really good of this year is that I did make content for this channel. I think it kicked my ass. I wanted to post a video every week, and I don't think that that's like a realistic goal, just kind of like for me in my life right now. But I did put out, you know, a lot of videos that I'm very, very proud of. I think it was a good opportunity and a good exercise for me to try to stick to a semi-decent schedule, but also too, I've wanted to do YouTube videos for a long time, and I think that this was a really good year for me to be able to do that because I did have a lot of extra time. It wasn't like I was going anywhere, which again, once kind of quarantine hit, I definitely shied away from making content just because I wasn't really feeling motivated. But, you know, now that I have a new job and that I have kind of a better schedule in terms of, you know, waking up, and I just have a better rhythm with how I've been doing everything, I was able to make, you know, a decent amount of videos this year. And it was fun, you know, to film videos with my boyfriend and my friends and, you know, just edit them. And I think that this is something I'm gonna definitely want to keep up with. I'm very happy for the people who watch my videos and who spend time with me throughout the year. And again, I know that I don't have a lot of views or even a lot of watch time on the videos, but I really hope in 2021 I can make even better content than this year. And I want to just, you know, get more creative in terms of things and try to push myself. And yeah, I'm just very thankful for everybody in my life this year. And I didn't do lips. That's always something I freaking forget. And I can't tell if I even really like how this makeup looks, but notice the deflection as soon as I got a little emotional. But yeah, I'm just very thankful for people who took the time out to watch my videos, to spend time with me. And, you know, I just couldn't be happier. So that is my 2021, the 20 things I did or didn't do, in all honesty, because working out is not on that list. I guess I could have also put that I'm trying a middle part in 2020. Let me know what you think. I don't know. I've had the side part for so long. My hair's also like wet. Yeah. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys liked it. This is a little bit kind of a different format than I've done, but I kind of like doing it because I feel like I was killing 2 birds with 1 stone in terms of like getting ready and also filming a video. So yeah, this is my last video of 2020. I wish for a better 2021. I'm watching this in the future. I genuinely hope that I'm eating better, drinking better, taking better care of myself. I feel more comfortable at work. I am able to see my friends, hug my family, go to a concert, and be happy with myself as a whole versus being happy with little individual pieces of myself. So, Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you like it, go ahead and give it a like. And if you like me or want to see more of me in the future, go ahead and hit subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I hope to see you soon. Bye. Play Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson on Spotify.